You're watching the Jakarta Globe News Channel. My name is Florence Armein. Thank you for joining us. Now, as usual, what we do try to bring into the perspective is personalities that are larger than life. And embodying that today, present at the perspective, is the former Indonesian Air Force's Chief of Air Staff, Chappy Hakim. Thank you so much for spending your time. I understand it's been a very busy and good start of the year.
Very hard.
But interestingly, Mr. Chappy, tell me, how is life after the Air Force?
Yes, it's very interesting. After I finished my job in the Air Force in 2005, once I retired, you know what happened? My wife going to university again.
She took her studies again. She continued
to
studies.
get the master degree.
Right.
And by then, my daughter is a little bit uncomfortable with that, so she go to the university again to follow the mother to get the master
There's
degree.
There's the competitive side in her.
That's right. That's competing. And what happened after that is very surprising as well, because my son, they looking at his mom and his daughter. So he decided to go to University of Indonesia. You know what he got? Double master degree program.
Wow. So the competitiveness runs very thickly in the blood. And what about you? You didn't think of...
All the masters are under my command.
So you're the chief of the masters at home.
No, that's still my wife is commander-in-chief.
She remains the chief.
Yeah, that's a joke.
But once a soldier, you never stop being a soldier, isn't it? Even if you leave the Corps.
Yeah, that's always many people said that. But actually, once you entering the job, like men or women in uniform, you have to have the total dedication for the duties. Without that, you can do anything in the service. So that's why after retired, many people, especially men and women in uniform, they always care with their country. And that's why what I got to do after my retirement is to sharing with a lot of way, sharing to make a lecture in the Staff College, in the Air Force, of course, and the Navy as well, and the Defense University, and some colleges, and some colleges that they would like me to sharing some kind of leadership or defense and aviation.
Just to keep yourself busy, isn't it? You just, like you said earlier,
right. Yeah.
Life goes on.
Yes, life is motion, so I have to keep moving. So how you keep moving is depend on you, how you manage yourself after retirement. It's very important because many people after retired who don't have the specific activities,
right?
Yeah, they gone away. Yeah,
they just wither away.
He got the sickness. He got a lot of difficulties in life, and then mostly they pass away earlier.
And how do you find that balance in life after the Corps between your activities? I understand you're also in the private sector now. You teach, you make music, you write, and then open lectures.
Yeah, a lot of things. I always do like this. In a life, basically you have to share. If you got the experience, knowledge, or everything, you have to share. But in the way you share the knowledge or everything, you have to have a friend. And by have a friend, you got you got something else. Just like doing sport, playing golf, playing tennis, or whatever. And then music. Yeah, the world without music, you can imagine.
I'll try not to imagine a world without music.
Yeah, the music is very fantastic.
So tell us, during your sharing sessions, when you teach, when you make your music, when you write, what are the number one or the priority values that you're able to transfer from you being in the Corps, in the Air Force, and bringing that into your daily life? And what do you tell the young generation? What are the values that they should be keeping?
The simple thing is I got the moral obligation to share all of my experience and my knowledge to my junior. That's the one thing. And the other thing is I'm responsible for my children and a lot of young people who are close to me, especially young officer. So I try to share to them how to do your job. That's why I make some of the several type of presentation. Excuse me. Mostly the dimension that I try to share to everybody is in the sense of defense and aviation, because a lot of people in Indonesia not read too much, not writing as the young people in the other country. So that I will push all the young people or young generation to a lot of writing, a lot to going to read many books, because if you lack of knowledge by the habit of the reading or writing, and you can compete with the other young people in the world. Now we're entering the globalization. The competing in the future is much depend on your performance, and your performance and your performance in the globalization era. It's much depend on your knowledge. So the knowledge.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because it's crazy how things have changed in the last 5 years alone. How the young generation have consumed information, how they're able to express themselves, the freedom of speech. Technology has shifted the way that the attention span, the way they receive information, omit information. So how do you bridge yourself in the way from the way that you learned, and just to make sure that the values remain in the way that things have changed today?
Yeah, the most fantastic thing is the technology. Technology make anything can happen.
Yeah.
In the easy way. The challenge become the two parts. When the people can use the technology to more learn, to more studying, to more reading, it's fine. It's very easy. But on the other hand, for the people who don't like reading, they go to the other side. They going just for entertainment side. They go to the gossip,
because of how accessible things are.
Yes, because they're available for that.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing, is how the family can control their young child, their young generation, to keep on track. What have you do? What you have to do in the long life, facing the globalization era. That's technology.
That's going back to basic. The family institution is the most important.
I think so. Yeah, that's very important thing.
Cultivate that foundation.
Yeah.
All right. Chappy Hakim is one of the persons of the year for January's Globe Asia the edition. This is the first when Globe Asia is changing its face, and Chappy is one of the CEOs to watch in 2017. We'll talk more about that when we come back after this break.